All right, our first reader is Greg.
First, yours. I gotta adjust the mic a little bit. I'm not going to stay through the whole reading because I just got through with chemotherapy today, and as you can imagine, that will tend to wipe you out. I also, before I start reading, I want to mention the fact that I'm coordinating a benefit at Hope and Olive on March 8th, which is a Sunday. That will be from 2 to 5 to facilitate a process where my Dharma sister Joke, who's the chief administrator of Daiba Satsuzendo, will be coming to Greenfield in May to teach a workshop for people that are recovering from violence, mental illness, or addiction. So if you want to show up or want to read at that, get in touch with me. Or Paul, or I guess if I leave early, they can get in touch with you too, Paul. Okay. So in terms of the cancer, when I realized that it looked like it was going to be fatal, and out of the Zen tradition, which I've now been practicing for 30 years, I wrote my death poem. It's very simple. It goes, death is a non-opponent that must be dealt with strategically. Then I had a CAT scan recently, and even though I did not know, hadn't seen the results, I intuitively knew that it was bad. So I wrote a poem that goes, how does it go? The sword of death is sharp. It cuts through everything. Best to be aware. Best to prepare. Its closeness has enveloped me from time to time, like now. The next piece I'm reading is humorous. I'm working on a science fiction piece, and what I'm doing is I have a friend in Texas who, when I wrap up this portion, I'll send it to it, and he'll do the next portion, and so forth and so on. And Texas is important in this piece. This is, and I'll end with this, this is the raging armadillos of the Ozarks. Armadillos migrated to Sucking Swamp, Missouri from Texas. They are rarely seen in the wild, yet their carcasses litter the roadways in the Ozarks, the largest town being Sucking Swamp. A romance occurred. A horny armadillo fell in love with a cute mate, and indeed they mated. After this romance, the cute armadillo popped out what dog lovers might call pups, or what dino lovers might call the closest things to diminutive brontosaurus. There's a big problem in the Ozarks. Meth labs, and as the brood migrated, they ran into trouble. There was a meth lab in Peaceful Valley that had a hole in it. They went inside and no one was in there, and they began consuming the chemicals, and they began mutating rapidly. They bred quickly, and the next generation not only grew in size, but at the same time they became carnivorous. A pack of these creatures exited the lab. They were big, and the chemicals told them that yes, they needed meat, but not to be indiscriminate. What they were after was beings who were infected by mind parasites from planet Zoran. They soon popped up some fake evangelicals They soon popped up some fake back to the landers, and I'll leave it at that, except to say that in the Texas section, they got big enough where they found out where the biggest person with mind parasites in the country lived, and that was in Crawford, Texas.